Hey guys, welcome back to Mock Draft Madness, day 27 of doing a mock draft every single day until the NFL draft on April 25th. If you don't know ball and want to ball, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft. Let's get right into it. I'm going to try a couple different trades today based on viewer suggestions. One is going to come at the end of the round probably, and then it's going to depend. I mean, I think the idea that the Vikings are trading up into number 3, 4, or 5 is probably where there's smoke, there's fire, and that's some of the smoke that I'm buying into the most. I don't really believe they acquired a second first-round pick to take a guy like a Bo Nix or a Michael Penix later in the draft. So, first, I'm going to go Caleb Williams. I think I got a suggestion actually yesterday as well to do like a no position draft. So, like, maybe don't take wide receivers at all in the first round. Or also maybe like a no need draft, like only best player available, something like that. I think tomorrow I might try something a little bit more like out of body, just because, you know, we're going to be at day 28, guys, almost day 30. Or maybe do I wait for day 30, the month of mock drafts, to switch it up? Anyway, Washington Commanders, I've had them going Drake May. I think I'm going to lead Jaden Daniels on this one just because it gives us different opportunities. Now, I think that the Patriots are probably going to stay put here, and I'm going to have the New England Patriots taking Drake May. I think that's an easy pick. He can sit behind Jacoby Brissett, and then they can call it a day as they develop him. Now, with the Arizona Cardinals on the clock, I believe they're taking Marvin Harrison. I think if the Vikings aren't able to get up till 3, I think they can swing the cards with a crazy offer, but the more likely scenarios, they're probably going to pick at number 5 here. So we're going to trade with the Minnesota Vikings. And I would assume this is probably going to get done. I mean, if you take away the, first next year, I understand that some people think the first next year is a lot, but you're trading up for a quarterback, and they know that. And the reality is there's a person right here at 6, the New York Giants, who could just swap spots with them, probably give them a second, and it would get the deal done. So that's my thing is they may say, listen, the Giants are going to take them, and we need your first next year, or it's not going to happen. If the Chargers are in that position of leverage, I would imagine they're going to use it. So we are going to just give them the first, and we're going to swap that. If you think that's a lot, it's not. It's a lot, but if you think it's unheard of, it isn't. So we're going to force that trade through here. And we're going to have the Minnesota Vikings taking J.J. McCarthy. So now we have the New York Giants on the clock. I believe they probably take Malik Neighbors here. I've been going O-line with the Titans, and I went Odunze yesterday. I'm going to throw kind of a weird one in there. I'm going to give him Brock Bowers. He said that he wanted to play in Tennessee, and I also think that there is a scenario where they do take him. I mean, I don't know how their draft board falls. I think the scenario is likely, not very, but I want to try out different scenarios here, and giving Brock Bowers to the Titans affects the draft board a little bit differently. So now we have the Falcons at 8, who I think actually are a prime candidate to trade out, especially with the way that the draft has fallen kind of with defensive players. So with Rome Odunze on the clock, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to target a team that could move up to take Rome Odunze. I think if you want to look at any of these teams here, maybe we could do this. What if we had the Chargers trade back up? There's a reality where they could probably trade back up and go and get Rome. And if you wanted a team back here to get, you'd have to give up quite a bit. I think the reality is if you want another dominant receiver on the Colts, that could be an option. And I do see the possibility of the Bills possibly looking to trade up for one of the better receivers, even though there's guys in the back, just because we've seen the Bills take swings. I think it would be kind of crazy. But yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to try to trade with the Los Angeles Chargers here, and they're going to come back up and then get a wide receiver. So, or you know what? Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have them trade up and get a wide receiver. New York Jets. So we're going to swap picks, and then I will give them, because they're going back 3 spots. Does a third get it done? Does 69 get it done? Maybe 69, 105, and they give us 143. I don't know. I feel like a third is enough to get it done. 3 spots, right? Because a fourth is from 9 to 10. I don't know if that would cost a second. So let's force that trade through. So now with the Chargers on the clock, I'm going to have them going Rome Odunze. Chicago Bears, in this scenario, I see them definitely leaning Joe Alt. You know, something that has been a thing under Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears is good is not good enough. They want to get the best players at those positions, and while Braxton Jones is good, Joe Alt can be amazing. And I like that approach from our team. There's no, from our team. I'm a fan of the Bears. I like that approach that Ryan Poles has, not something we've seen in Chicago in the past. So now we have the New York Jets on the clock. With the top 3 receivers off the board, Brock Bowers is gone. I also see them as a prime kind of trade back candidate in this situation because you can get one of the tackles or O linemen a little bit later. So I'm thinking this might be a scenario where we do that. I don't really know who would want to come up here and go and get one of their guys. I think maybe... Nope, they wouldn't do that. I was thinking maybe the Dolphins to come and get Byron Murphy or Jerzon Newton. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see any of these guys coming up here. So maybe we just stick and pick, and we're going to take Troy Fautanu, guy who can play any of the positions. And we know the Jets get hurt a lot. They're going to need a guy to fill in at some point this season. And the reality is, yes, they fixed their line for this year, but not in the future. Fautanu can be a future piece while also gives you an instant impact on the field. Now we have the Atlanta Falcons at 11. Honestly, getting that 3rd-round pick and another pick and still being able to get Dallas Turner is a very, very nice haul for the Atlanta Falcons. Now the Denver Broncos, I never know what to do with them. I think it is a very tough spot for them to pick. I think maybe what we're going to do is we're going to have the Los Angeles Rams come up, and they are going to give us 52, and we're going to give them 12. So I wonder why they think that's... I wonder... Okay, I don't know. I wish there was a thing where it's like they're not interested in trading for this pick and more just like what is the percentage like based off draft value that it would work. So I think 52 would get it done. So let's force that trade through. Maybe if we give them 83.99 and they gave us like 136. Do you think that's more realistic, or do you think a second to move 7 spots? Guys, I'm not, like I said, I don't know the draft compensation for this. I think, maybe I should have a trade chart up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing. After today, I'll start having a trade chart up just to look at value. But, maybe I'm thinking this might get it done. I don't know. The point is it's a 1-round mock, and it's more about moving the people around. They have the capital to do it. And with this, they are going to take Byron Murphy to replace Aaron Donald. Never going to be able to replace him for real, but it's somebody that you can at least, give Kobe Turner another guy to rush with. Las Vegas Raiders on the clock. They could take corner, but with Tulisa Fuanga right here, I feel like that's a very hard pass, or very hard player to pass up. New Orleans Saints, Olu Fashanu is an easy pick for them. You could also go Jared Verse, even Jerzon Newton. So I think Olu Fashanu is probably the more valuable player in this scenario to them. Ruiz, Ramczyk, Penning, all kind of questionable, and Fashanu can give you some solidarity on that line and something to look forward to in the future from an offensive trench standpoint. With the Indianapolis Colts on the clock, they definitely need cornerback, and I'm going to give them Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo. I think he can be CB1. I think the Colts would really like him in that room with Kenny Moore, so we're going to stay there. Jackson Powers-Johnson to the Seattle Seahawks. We're going to solidify that interior O-line. We talk about it all the time. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to give them Nate Wiggins. Well, I don't know. Jerzon Newton is really appealing here. Verse is also appealing. I think I am going to give them Nate Wiggins. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him Wiggins and to pair him with Tyson Campbell. 18 to the Cincinnati Bengals. They need tackle. Jerzon Newton would be a nice addition. But I think if you're thinking about it from a long-term standpoint, Amarius Mims is somebody that you can develop behind Trent Brown and Orlando Brown Jr. and somebody you can have for the next 5 years going forward and know that you have a backup plan once Trent Brown leaves. And he can play either side of tackle, which is very appealing. Now, with the Denver Broncos on the clock, I think the reality is if you're sitting right here, Brian Thomas Jr. could be a very good addition for you. You're going to need some help in that wide receiver room. It's Tim Patrick and Cortland Sutton and Lil Jordan Humphrey. I don't know if that's what you want to bank all your money on. So we're going to add a weapon for the Denver Broncos. At number 20, well, the main reason, too, I wanted to move back is to get them more capital. At number 20, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cooper DeJean is a real nice addition to that room because he can play, safety or corner. So is Terran Arnold. I think tackle is a little bit more of a need. I do like the idea of a Graham Barton to the Steelers because he's someone that can play all interior position. He can play tackle as well. But J.C. Latham with Broderick Jones could be really nice if you're able to move Broderick over to that left side, which I think they wouldn't be opposed to doing. So I'm going to add J.C. Latham to the Pittsburgh Steelers. With the loss of Christian Wilkins, Jerzon Newton comes in to fill his shoes. I don't know how likely that is. And what I'm going to do here is, let's see. I was going to trade back. Okay, yeah. All right, I know what I'm going to do. So Cooper DeJean is going to... Well, I don't want to give them... I give them Cooper DeJean like every day. It just makes the most sense to me. I want to go corner here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something different. I also have them going Guyton quite often. They have 2 second-round picks, so they could very easily go wide receiver there. But imagine adding Adonai Mitchell to a room of Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. You are so talented at the wide receiver position, and you are going to be a powerhouse to be reckoned with, especially with Saquon Barkley there. Is it the best pick value-wise and need-wise first round? No. Do I think they're going to go wide receiver first round? No. But you can, have that option on offense. And we know the Eagles like to take swings. Do I think it's going to happen? No. So please don't leave a comment saying, bro, they're not going to take a wide receiver first. I know they won't. But like I said, 29 days of mocks, 28, 27. I've lost count. 23, Los Angeles Chargers. They traded up and took Rome Odunze earlier. I think they'll probably go, tackle here. If we look at the Los Angeles Chargers depth chart, I honestly feel like a guy like a... Yeah. Let's do that. Let's give him Graham Barton, a guy that can slide around on the interior of the offensive line and kind of play all 5 positions. I know Jim Harbaugh is definitely going to love that. Graham Barton is a football player through and through, and that is what Jim Harbaugh looks for. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to have the Dallas Cowboys trade back with the Kansas City Chiefs. We are going to give them pick 95, pick 32. I don't know. I think that should be good, right? Like, obviously work out the compensation at home. We're going to force that through, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to take Terrion Arnold off the board to replace L'Jarius Sneed. Now, the Green Bay Packers are on the clock at 25. Cooper DeJean would be an easy addition for them. Pair him with Jair Alexander, Xavier McKinney, have him move around that DB room. Very solid pick. Jared Verse at 26 is criminal, the fact that he's still on the board. Tampa Bay Buccaneers would run to the podium between him or Latu. Verse, a little less scary when it comes to medicals, so I think Verse would be the pick. 27, we have the Arizona Cardinals, who took Marvin Harrison Jr. If you're able to add a guy like Leatu Latu and Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft, especially when you have the 35th overall pick, that is an easy pick. And you could also take another wide receiver, or you could take a guard or corner or whoever is available at 35 to make it real simple. So now we have the Buffalo Bills at 28. Tough. Very tough, because I don't love Ladd McConkey here. And maybe I really don't like the way this has, the way this board has fallen. So if we take a look at the Buffalo Bills depth chart here, Connor McGovern is there. They signed Will Clapp. I was thinking Zach Frazier. Osiris Torrance is there. Deion Dawkins signed an extension. I don't like this. I don't like this board. Cornerback is definitely in need, and maybe we can give them a guy like a Kool-Aid McKinstry. But these guys, in my opinion, are like early second-round guys, and I guess that's kind of where you're at when you get to this point of the draft. Just because if we look at their draft picks, they don't have another pick till 60, so I'm going to give them Keon Coleman. It is a bit of a reach, but I think he can be a big, dominant weapon for Josh Allen next to Stephon Diggs. He would definitely draw attention away from Diggs in like red zone areas and everything, and then that offense is looking kind of loaded. Keon, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, Curtis Samuel, Dalton Kincaid. Detroit Lions at 29. I like the idea of adding a corner here. We have added corner a lot, but with a guy like Chop Robinson sitting on the board and pairing him with Aiden Hutchinson, the motor on their defensive line next to DJ Reader, and I know they added the edge who was in Minnesota. Why can't I think of his name right now? Marcus Davenport. But, I mean, you're still going to want another rusher. Ali McNeil and DJ Reed. Like, you're not going to be able to run on this team. That would be a ridiculous defensive line. At number 30, we have the Baltimore Ravens. So I have gone offensive line here quite a bit. I think corner is also kind of a position of need for them at this point. I don't think it's drastic, but, you have Marlon Humphrey, and then it's kind of like, their safety room is nice. I think a wide receiver could be good as well. The issue is they don't pick again till 62, so it's kind of like, do you trust the wide receiver that you're going to get? I do like the idea of adding a guy like TJ Tampa because if you're going to add someone to the wide receiver room, I think you have more luck adding a guy at your pick at 62 to the wide receiver room than you do one of the corners. So I think I'm going to give them TJ Tampa. At number 31, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Guyton makes a lot of sense for them. Someone to learn behind Trent Williams. Colton McKivitz, he's under a contract through 2025. I think with a cornerback like a Kool-Aid McKinstry still sitting on the board, though, it becomes kind of hard to pass up because they do need help in that secondary. And with the Dallas Cowboys on the clock at 32, you picked up draft capital from Kansas City. You do need interior offensive line help. And I think with the way that, but I don't know, guys, because my thing with the Cowboys is, do they ever really do what you expect them to do? And I've said this quite a bit. I really like the idea of Xavier Worthy to the Cowboys. I think pairing him with CeeDee Lamb would be kind of disgusting. So this has been You Don't Know Ball Mock Draft Madness Day 27, I think. Day 27. If you don't know ball and want to know ball, be sure to subscribe. Leave a like. Let me know in the comments your favorite and least favorite pick from this mock draft, as well as trade scenarios. I have a little Google Doc that has like scenarios that you guys leave in the comments. So I will add that to the doc and try to work through them as I get them. Be sure to leave it below. I hope the guy who left the comment about the Chiefs trading up, I hope you like the outcome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you.